I have an important message for you from Archangel Michael about 2023. Hi, I'm Saratoga Ocean, and I work together with an interdimensional, interuniversal, and extraterrestrial force known as Telstar, along with Archangel Michael. In this video, I'm going to share an important new message from Archangel Michael and Telstar about our upcoming new year of 2023. But before I start, I want to let you know that I'm going to be taking a Christmas break from filming YouTube videos because I want to take a creative break just to refresh my creative energy. Plus, there are some things I need to do for myself. So it's probably going to be maybe a few weeks. In any case, I will be back in early January. For sure, I already know what my next video is going to be about, actually. And I hope you're going to check this one out because this one's going to blow your mind. And that's the one I'm going to be filming for early January. Now, in the meantime, if you want to stay in touch and you're not on my email list, you can get on my email list because I do send an email out every Friday where I share my thoughts about various things, some tips, just general things that help keep us all connected. So if you want to get on my email list and I can stay in touch with you during the time I have this break, I'll put the link below and you can just sign up and get on it. It's free. It's real simple. Okay, so with that said, let's get on to this week's video. So I was talking with Archangel Michael the other day, and he asked me to share a message with you all about 2023. He said that 2023 will be a critical year for people to build their strength. And he also said it's very important not to wait around for something bad to happen and then react to that after the fact. The reason this doesn't work is because if you wait, you will be reacting from fear, which always confuses and weakens the mind. It's better to anticipate from a calm place of strength in advance, so that way you're ready for whatever else these controllers might have in store. He said that the way to start is to remember that you are a cosmic being who is here to evolve. And then see if you can find a firm center from that place within your heart. See, just believing it in your mind is not enough. Your real strength will be found when you discover that very real experience from right within your own heart. Now, Archangel Michael said that there are two types of energies present on this planet. And then there's another one that's just kind of in between, in the middle. On the one hand, you have the evildoers and the darkness. And then on the other hand, you have what is still kind of a minority of people who are definitely awake. However, he said that the minority has tremendous strength if they get their energetic act together. So those, he said, are the two main forces at work. Now, in the middle, you have people who are neither here nor there. They are basically going along with whatever they perceive the stronger force to be. So I think overall, it's really a matter of who has the most leverage, who has the strongest energy that will create a resonating field within the people who are kind of in the middle. So we want to think about, okay, we know the bad guys, the controllers, are very focused, they're very intentional, and they have a lot of strength in terms of what they want to do. I'm not saying they're strong, I'm just saying that their intention is strong. So we, who are the real human beings in this picture, those of us who are awake, we actually have powers that are greater than theirs, because their so-called power isn't really power. It's the ability to manipulate using lies and fear. See, they don't really have any power. That's why they have to resort to those kind of tactics. However, we, who I call the real human beings, we have it all. We have the full spectrum, you guys. All we have to do is wake up at full spectrum consciousness. That's a complete game changer. So I think what Archangel Michael is saying is that 2023 is a time where it's very important for us to focus on that capability because we're going to need it. Now, Archangel Michael also emphasized that we need to be acutely aware of what is happening in the schools. He said that this is the generation that they are grooming to be the future authorities. And he said they're not going to be little kids forever. But that really gave me pause when I started to think about that. He said that if parents want to do something to contribute to the earth, then one of the most significant things that you can do is to protect your children. He also said that parents would be wise to deprogram themselves immediately from the propaganda that says they don't know anything and that the authorities in charge know best. And next he said that we should consider dropping all spiritual fantasies. Now, I wrote down a lot of what he said, and I'm going to read some of it to you right now in regards to that idea of dropping spiritual fantasies. This is what he said exactly. These fantasies might be comforting, but they will not save you. You might notice that they haven't saved you so far. Some of these fantasies are dangerously close to acting as shrouds of unconsciousness. They are like shrouds that tell you that all is well and therefore nothing really matters. He said to restore common sense about the world around you. If it feels bad and looks bad, then it is. You're not stupid after all. And I think the fact that he said that last sentence there really made me realize something. The way these controllers and the media and everybody talks to us, the way they gaslight us, it's like they really think we're stupid and they want us to believe we're stupid. You know, I mean, their gaslighting is so extreme, it's insulting, it's abusive, right? So what he's saying is we're not stupid and we kind of need to wake up and not let them do this to us. It's like he said, if it feels bad and it looks bad, then it is. That's just obvious. But the controllers want to cloud our consciousness with their gaslighting because they want us to get confused, right? Okay, so here's what he said next. I'll read more to you. He said, "You have been told all your lives not to trust yourselves. You have had doubt pressed upon your mind and consciousness in much the same way that cattle are branded. Remove the filters of doubt. They are not yours. They come from outside of you. When you are bred for a lifetime to believe that everyone outside of you knows better than you, of course you are going to be poisoned with doubt. You have amazing and highly accurate instincts. It's time to start trusting yourself again." That's a great message, isn't it? Okay, and there's more. He said, 2023 can either offer you a chance or it can break you with self-imposed weakness due to inattention to your consciousness. Now, the next part of his message, let me get all the way through it before you jump to conclusions, because I can see how it'd be real easy to jump to conclusions if you only hear the first couple of sentences. So wait until I finish this whole part of the message, and then you'll understand exactly what he's talking about. Okay, so here we go. This is Archangel Michael's words. This is what he said. There is a religious and also a New Age fantasy that God is in charge and therefore all is well. This is a very strange perception because it implies that you have no will of your own and that everyone is completely controlled. It implies that there is nothing for you to do. You hold on to this belief at your own peril. But you should know this by now by your own observation. It shouldn't require someone such as myself to point it out to you. Myself being Archangel Michael, of course. All right, continuing on. If God had every single thing under control, then what would be the point of anything? There would certainly be no point to your existence, because if that were the case, then you would be nothing more than a meaningless figment of someone else's imagination. This belief is a misinterpretation of the oneness of the Creator. Yes, the infinite source of all that is behind all that is. But you have the added factor in this universe of the lie of I am not God. I am not source. And this belief that all is well does not address that problem. Therefore, it is a false belief because all is not well. And you can see that for yourselves. As long as you hold on to fantasies that all is well and that the bad is somehow good because God is in control, then you put your souls at risk more and more. Let me give you an example. Do you ever wonder how people can so easily accept that men are toxic and that women have no rights? Now, when he said this to me, the first thing that came to my mind was that time when there was that man that was competing with women in swimming, saying he was a woman, competing with them, and of course, they didn't have a chance. Now, at the time, here's what really blew my mind. See, to me, if we had a collective conscious civilization of human beings who were completely in touch with reality, I would have thought that all those women, the best thing they could have done, the absolute best thing, gosh, you guys, we have so many missed opportunities. It makes me crazy thinking about it. The best thing those women could have done was to say, well, then we're not swimming. That's it. He can jump in the pool by himself. We're just not going to swim. But instead, they all stood around and they hated every minute of it, but they accepted it anyway, and they competed with this guy. And all I could think of was, what? Like, what? And that's an example, I think, of what Archangel Michael was pointing to. Like, have you ever wondered why? Because I was wondering why. I was wondering, like, why are you all playing along with this? Because those women could have put an end to that immediately. It would have had to stop, because if no one's going to play along with the gaslighting, then it's over, right? Okay, moving on. Then he said, or how about the acceptance of the belief that no one really knows their own sex, and that whatever sex they thought they were is probably wrong? Well, that's a big one, isn't it? Okay, moving on. Archangel Michael continues. And then there are the events of the past 3 years that serve as a fine example of people being willing to accept just about anything, no matter how bizarre. How is this even possible? Well, I'll tell you how it's possible, he said. It's possible because of the religious and New Age belief that all is well and God is in charge. This belief causes you to throw away all of your natural defenses and common sense. Because the real translation that underlies that belief is that nothing matters and everything is fine, no matter how bizarre it gets, because God is in charge of it all. And then he said, well, if this is your version of God being in charge, then I would question this so-called God that you are following. Because if what's happening on this planet is an example of God being in charge, then this so-called God is failing miserably. Now, at this point, something very interesting happened. John, who is one of the beings in Telstar that I channel and I work with, he came into the room and he said he wanted to add something to this communication. So I'll read to you what he said. He said, I recommend that if you want to gather your strength, that you stop lying to yourselves. On the one hand, you know that all should be well, and that is a true fact. All was designed to be well. However, when things are not well, you do not need to be confused. All you need to do is to admit to yourself that something is wrong. It's really that simple. There is a lot to be said for the saying, the truth shall set you free. Being honest with yourself sets you free to evolve. If you continue to believe that God is in charge and therefore all is well, you lose your evolutionary advantage. You lose your leverage to be able to evolve. Why? Because all is not well, and you know that. All has not been well on this planet for a very long time. So after that, Archangel Michael said that they want me to share with you my own thoughts about everything they said. So I'm going to do that right now. Now, my first thought is that when they are being this direct, they're not messing around. There's something that we really need to understand. I think they are pointing out the underpinnings of why we appear to be so weak. We have allowed some very corrupt people to speak to us in the name of God. Take a look at the Catholic Church, for example. At one point in history, the Catholic Church served as the political apparatus that legitimized the rulers of large parts of the world. But then look at the rampant pedophilia, the human trafficking, and the satanic imagery of that religion. As I've said to you all before, I really think that worshiping the bloody corpse of God nailed to a cross sounds pretty satanic to me. Yet, the Catholic Church still wields enormous spiritual and political power on this planet. I mean, even the Bible portrays child sacrifice as a completely normal demand from God. You know, you just put your own kid on a slab of stone and maybe you decapitate them or you cut their heart out and, no anesthetic, because God loves terror, pain, and suffering, right? I mean, why else would you want people to do that to their own child? I mean, good grief. According to Christianity, God was completely on board with the child sacrifice of his own son, so they say. And of course, they made sure to add a lot of bloody torture to that fiasco, didn't they? And then how many religions throughout history have decided that the best way to deal with those unbelievers is just slaughter them all? These are the kinds of people who we have allowed to imprint our consciousness with their lies and propaganda about God. People who are obsessed with slaughter, with death, and with human sacrifice. And of course, today we wonder about the trend of chopping off sexual body parts from young people. Well, there are certain cultures and religions that have been removing certain sexual body parts from babies and children for millennia. It's like it's some form of religious sacrament or something. So this kind of nonsense, absolute nonsense, runs through the collective subconscious minds of our entire civilization. And then, of course, we have the New Age version of things, which says that all of this is really okay because it's all just some form of soul contracts, or that Earth is a school for us to learn all about this kind of treachery. And my personal New Age favorite, being kind of sarcastic in case you can't tell, is the following. God wanted to have all of these horrible experiences via the human beings that he or she created. We are told that God just had this real need to experience lots of pain and suffering, right? I mean, good luck connecting with a God who you believe has that intention. And how about the religions that say we're supposed to fear God? That's a nifty little bit of dogma, isn't it? We know there's something that loves to feed off of our fear, but it's not God, you guys. So when you look deeply into what Archangel Michael and John are saying, you can see that we collectively have some very deep subconscious programming that has a very negative influence on our ability to know what is right and what isn't. It's no wonder that we are so confused that we find ourselves unable to act with strength the moment that we discover that something is wrong. See, we've been told for thousands of years that God is actually quite corrupt. So when we see corruption, our minds get confused. Questions start to pop up like, is this really okay? Or there must be a good explanation. Or the biggest lie of all, which is this: hey, if it's happening, it must be God's will, or it wouldn't be happening, right? I mean, let's face it. The past 3 years on this planet have been terrible. And we know that the controllers are planning for more because they've openly said so. It doesn't help us to say that everything is okay because the universe or God intended this. Love does not intend the garbage that we have witnessed for the past 3 years. So I totally get why these beliefs are the reason we're so collectively confused and weak under our current circumstances. I think the underlying message from Archangel Michael and John is that we need to purge our consciousness of all of these spiritual lies. We need to achieve a major level of clarity for ourselves. We need to separate the lies from the truth. It's the only way to achieve the strength that Archangel Michael was talking about. If you mix the lies in with the truth, you are obviously going to be weak and confused. See, on the one hand, you have the truth, which is the infinite creator, that is a powerful force of pure love. And then on the other hand, you have the lie that this creator is fully in on and wants all of this treachery. So when you try to put these two things together, you have a recipe for mass confusion. I think that what John in particular is saying is that we need to stop lying to ourselves about God. We need to stop lying and saying that the infinite creator of love wants for us to suffer and die. I would say that this message is key going into 2023, because if we don't sort this out within ourselves, we could find ourselves unable to deal with whatever is coming next. You cannot fully connect with your true self and the power of the universe if your consciousness is riveted with subconscious lies about the Creator. So I hope this all makes sense to you guys. I think this is a very powerful message. I think it is urgent that we become whole again. To be whole means to be firmly centered in the truth, which is love. Trying to accommodate these lies only serves to fragment our minds and our consciousness. It also makes it very difficult to connect with our hearts. You cannot connect with your heart through a veil of fear, of guilt, of confusion, and unworthiness. Now, I don't know specifically what is coming in 2023. I just know that we don't want to take any chances when the powers that run this planet have openly shown us their diabolical intentions. So let's purge our hearts and minds of any falsehoods about life and the Creator. That's what will open the doors of connection to the higher powers of love in this universe. So I think this is something that would really, really help us if we just take the time, each one of us as individuals, to go within and really examine what beliefs have we absorbed, unwittingly perhaps, that are actually serving to sabotage our full-bodied, full consciousness, full heart, mind, and spiritual connection to 100% of truth, love, and the actual Creator, which is not a force that would ever wish any harm upon anything ever in this universe. Okay, so I just want to remind you again that I will be taking a Christmas break from filming YouTube videos. I will be back in early January, but in the meantime, I really would love to stay connected with you all through my Friday emails. So if you want to do that, again, I will put the link below in the description, and you can get on my email list if you're not already. And that way we can stay connected until I come back in early January. So have a beautiful holiday, my friends, and I will see you again very soon. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it out with anyone else who you think would appreciate this message from Archangel Michael. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I am here every Tuesday with all new videos, with the exception of this short break that I will be taking. And with that, I'm sending you so much love, light, and high vibrational energy. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Namaste.